going to get on that. I'm not going to be like everybody else and talk about, oh, what you did or didn't do when you went college. Forget all of that. Right. What I'm asking you is a simple question. We talk about the GOAT here, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, and you running your mouth talking about you're going to beat him one-on-one. Why would you say something so blasphemous?
In my heyday, he would need help.
Really?
He's too small. His name is big, and y'all like, it was a 5-on-5. 5-on-5 game, he good. One-on-one, I'm undefeated, never lost.
Will you stop it?
Never lost one-on-one.
That don't make any sense. Listen,
ain't nobody beat me in heyday one-on-one.
Why you saying stuff like that?
Distance one-on-one.
That's exactly. You look like you were tired.
Hey, let me ask you this like I tell him.
That's why you smiling right now.
Did I win or lose? Did I win or lose?
Right.
All I care about is the W. I don't care how I get it.
You were tired from dancing, and you talking about you going to beat Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan. How you going to beat me?
You know what? It's good.
I got to hear how you going to beat me.
Pick your poison.
How's he going to beat me?
Why are you saying stuff like this?
Tell me how's he going to beat me.
Why are you doing this?
Well, you know, he's the greatest that's ever played. And
greatest who ever played.
His technique was flawless. I wanted to make sure my technique was just as flawless.
And I looked at him, and for the first time in my life, a human being didn't look real to me.
I pretty much was watching him instead of just playing against him, you know. I was like, I can't believe I'm on the same court, Michael Jordan, you know, all that stuff. I was looking at the shoes and just looking at him and the ball head and the 23.
I'm looking at his shoes, and I'm like, man, he got on the Jordans. You know what I mean? Like,
first time I played against him, you know, the guys was giving me that treatment in the locker room, and it was like, I was like, man, I know I see him on television, but is he that great?
I learned a lot this game. A lot about how technically sound Michael was. Because there's one thing in watching him play, and then there's another thing in playing against him.
That's a good D. Hey. He said a little something to me after he got that basket, but as you can see, that wasn't a foul.
And I played him straight up. You know, that's the thing that most people don't do. It becomes more or less a mental game. You know, in physical, you may have some advantage, you may not. You know, but the mental aspect, you should be able to pick him apart. It wasn't that he had like 48 points that game, but it wasn't a 48 from being double teamed. I was playing him straight up, and he was just giving it to me. So. But certainly the young kids grow from that, and they become better players if they feed off of it and work on their aspects of their games.
You know, it was the ultimate challenge, going out there and playing against the Bulls, you know, guard Michael Jordan. Nothing can top that.
They've made a switch already, putting Kobe on Michael. Then the education. Accelerated learning. Wow.
Been down a half court, and he wanted to know how, when I turn around on my jump shot, how to feel the defense. I told him you should feel the defense with your legs. Once you feel the defense with your leg, you can take advantage of that.
The day will come where I'll step on the court with, in my eyes, the best basketball player that ever stepped on a basketball court. And it was just an exciting moment for me, and it was something that I treasure for the rest of my life.
Iverson draws Jordan now. Watch this.
I mean, it was Mike. It was my idol. It was my hero.
That was very inspiring for me.
Michael Jordan story. You guys remember Anthony Peeler?
Yes.
Okay, so
out of Missouri, right?
Out of Missouri.
Yeah.
So we got Chicago Bulls coming in town, and unfortunately, I got a sprained ankle, you know, and so. Did
you say fortunately?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I enjoy guarding Mike because he was, you know, the one thing I did with Mike is I never got him pissed off. You know, he make a shot, you say, "Good shot, Mike." You know, you don't talk trash to him so he can go off for 60. You know, you try to kill him with kindness. Yeah. You don't try to talk trash to him. So they're getting off the bus. We're done with shoot around, and we're walking out, and MJ says, "B. Scott, what's going on?" I said, "What's up, MJ?" He said, "Man, I hear that you're not playing tonight." I said, "No, I sprained my ankle." He said, "Who's guarding me?" I said, "Anthony Peeler." He said, "Oh, 50. So I told Anthony Peeler, listen, MJ, he's probably going to go for about 50 tonight on you. So just don't piss him off. You know, just be cool. He ended up with 54. So the man could do basically whatever he wanted to do on that basketball court.
Yes, Chapman. versus Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I think it was.
Watch Rex own Michael. So when you start going off on Michael, does he say anything?
We actually, that game, and I'd forgotten about it. Somebody showed a video of it not long ago because it was like 20 years, I guess, after the fact, and it showed. You know, you couldn't let Michael dunk it. It was sort of a rule. If he dunked it, crowd's going to get into it. His teammates get into it.
Wait, so that was team-wide that everybody knew if Mike goes up, you foul him.
Yeah, you got to foul him. But, you know, preferably before he gets off the ground, you know, not to hurt him. And he made a move baseline, and I was a help defender running through the lane with my back, and I turned and saw him coming. And you know, I sort of launched into him.
MJ up high, the screen roll, makes the move inside, double pumps, and he got fouled. Rex Chapman held him.
Just to get him before he got off the ground. And I don't think we had the same agent forever. Michael called me to go to Carolina in 1984.
Oh, he recruited you?
Yeah. So I'd known him forever, but I think he didn't see who got him. He did, and he turned around to say something, and we kind of got nose to nose.
Rex in Michael's face now. And Alonzo Mourning in Michael's face now.
There was no anything really said worth anything. I think I said something like, you know, I can't just let you dunk it. And so, but it looked like yeah. And so everybody's like, oh, you were talking so much noise to Jordan. I was like, no, I was not doing that.
And then you go off for 39.
Yeah, we only had 8 guys. We'd made a big trade, 8 guys available.
Harper and Jordan at the guards, Pippen and Rodman at forward, Luke Longley in the middle. 12 guys for the Chicago Bulls, a full team around Phil Jackson. The Miami Heat, it looks like a small gathering of friends, doesn't it?
I think Michael and Scotty and Dennis and those guys came down to South Beach the night before, and we're like, it's a night off. But as Jimmy Lynam always used to say to us, you let a guy get going in this league, and you got a problem. And I got it going one night, and we got lucky.
Rex Chapman puts up the 3. And Rex Chapman an open 3. Back out, Chapman for 3. Going to Rex Chapman for the open 3. Rex Chapman quick, 1-on-3. Oh, MJ almost got it. Chapman an open 3. Chapman again with the 3. Inside Rex Chapman with it. Rex Chapman off balance 3. It doesn't matter. 59 now is Chapman. Double pump, put it up. It is the Rex Chapman show now. Rex Chapman for 3. Chapman Conley for 3.
Yes, absolutely. That could be the nail.
And the Bulls on a timeout. 106-95 now. Miami with a lead. 2:17 left here at the Miami Arena.
But you don't. There's no. Jordan doesn't say anything. Like, is there just? It's your night. I'm gonna let you have your night.
Now they were.
Did you beat him?
We beat them. And you know, they were not happy. We played them a few weeks later at home, and again, Michael and I are buddies. We same agent. Ball goes up, and we're around the jump circle, and bang, right to my chest. Right to my chest. And I went, all right, great. You know, let's do it. I mean, that's the mindset you have to have. But right then and there, I knew I was not having 39 again. I think I went 4 for 14 for 14 points or something. Yeah.
You got Michael Jordan. You got to guard Michael Jordan, right?
So the only player who played Michael more in the playoffs was Isaiah Thomas. So here's what Michael said about you in retrospect. He said, I love John Starks. He was really a competitor. He really tried to challenge me. But I think that he knew when he was guarding me, he was overmatched.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan! It counts.
What did you think of Michael Jordan?
Oh, man. Obviously, Michael is the greatest in my book. Been able to play him and growing up, watching him play in college, you know, and getting the opportunity to play him, you know, while I was in pros was a highlight of my career. You know, one thing about him, and Antonio can probably attest to, is just his will to win. I think that's what made him so great. And, you know, you already know when you're going into a game against Michael Jordan and a Michael Jordan team that you had to play your very best in order to beat him.
3. B.J. Armstrong with the spot up that shot. It's a block. That's a violation. It'll be the Knicks' ball.
Chicago is a confident, cocky team. They've sort of breezed through the league all season. They breezed through the first round of the playoffs, and right now they're being challenged.
Big jam by Ewing. They are stunned here in Chicago Stadium.
At some point in that game, you know that he's going to take over the game, and you have to be able to play him as hard as possible. I always say, you know, my mentality was when I took the court against Michael Jordan is that I'm going to go out there and make him work for every single point. And that's what I tried to do. You know, you couldn't stop him. And all you can do is just try to frustrate him, and hopefully that was enough.
Down for Jordan off the screen, makes the move, comes back in the lane.
But normally that wasn't enough. He was going to come at you every single night. He's probably one of the few players that you can say was on top of his game every single night. You know, and when he wasn't on top of his game, he hitting you for 30. And when he was on top of his game, like he was a couple of nights, he hit you for 55. So people say, did you ever talk noise against Michael Jordan? I never talked noise against Michael Jordan because you don't want to wake him up.
The best player I've played against has to be Michael Jordan.
20 years ago tonight, Jason Kidd had a special night. It was the first time he faced Michael Jordan.
Jordan story? Well, I think my first time guarding him.
You remember that game?
Yeah.
Probably my rookie year, I actually told this story to Chris Middleton. My rookie year, I'm guarding him, and I can just, you know, my heart's about to come out of my chest. And
I was just a little nervous, and I think he could see that. So he came up to me and says, "Look, don't worry about it, kid. I like you, so I won't embarrass you tonight." So I said, "Oh, okay, great." I went to dinner the night before with Michael, and I was just hoping when I left dinner that I didn't upset him. So I said, "Well, what's embarrassment mean? 50?" He said, "Oh, no, I'll take it easy on you." And so I was guarding him on the right box.
I'm just praying that he just shoots a fadeaway jump shot, but he decided to go baseline.
And he did a spin move to the baseline, and I said, "Oh, no, just don't dunk it."
When he went to jump, all I could think about, this cannot be a highlight.
I think he picked up the check, which might have upset him. And then he jumped, and he kept going, and he went on the other side of the basket and did a little reverse layup, and I said, "Oh, I'm glad he didn't dunk it."
And he just did like a little reverse layup, and as he came down and started running back, he just looked back and winked at me.
And he looked back at me and winked at me and said, "I told you I wasn't going to embarrass you." He took it easy on me.
And
he had 35, so that was just a light embarrassment.
I thought, oh man, this could be a long night.
He did. He only had 36 points, and they won by 6 in overtime. But you didn't take it easy on him. Do you remember what you did?
He's got a breakout. Tipped out to Kidd. Jason Kidd. Kidd change of direction, move off to Lorenzo Williams.
25, 15, 11, and 6 steals.
None of those steals were against when I was guarding him. We must have been playing on a lower basket for me to score that many points.
Watch the move. Left hand, cross over to the right hand, cross back over to the left hand. Inside finds Lorenzo Williams, who dunks. My, oh my. It was just playing against the best, and I got lucky if those were my stats. But we lost, so it's about winning, and that's what he does best.
I mean, one time I know he started counting backwards. You know, he said something like 38, and I didn't get it, Reggie. You know what I mean? And he started saying 36. I said, wait a minute. So he going backwards. But now if he get to 0, he got 40. But it was me and Michael had a lot of talks. So,
6 finals MVPs, that mean it was all about you each series. You were the mismatch. Trademark gym shoes, still top sellers to this day. Ball head, tongue wag.
Ooh, look at that fucking thing. That looks like a lizard.
There's 3 guys that anytime I see them, I pay homage to. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, who saved the NBA and took it to an incredible level. And Michael Jordan, jab steps, everything was perfect. He was the perfect size.
You said it right.
Perfect size.
To add what Chuck said, and to you guys, and being a 2-guard, Chuck and Kenny, you watch guys, and you all know, what can I take away? What's my advantage tonight? And that's when I started racking my brain, night in and night out, because I'm saying, hey, am I going to take, especially when he started shooting threes, and I'm not going to let him shoot jumpers. Couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Am I going to make him put it in his left hand? There was always a player that there was a weakness. I couldn't find anything, so you started to say, I got to get him in foul trouble. And all the refs out there, every time we played, Chuck, I end up with 5 fouls. He ended up with 1. So there was nothing you could really do other than I tried to beat him up on the post. And hopefully, that'll be my answer. But one of the greatest ever and a nightmare to prepare for.